about where our paths will lead. I believe the answers to a lot of those questions rely on who we are as individuals, and key factors like the strength of our will, our power to hope, the extent of our faith, and the level of our courage. I also believe some of the best ways are learning to walk, speak, and read, all of which can be difficult to do while growing up and living with a rare disease such as Prader-Willi syndrome. Ever since I was a little kid, one of my favorite things to do has been to read. Dr. Seuss once claimed, sometimes the questions are complicated and the answers are simple. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. Today, you are you. That is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. And you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go. Don't give up, person to person, no matter how small. The more you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. I never really understood the extent of such thoughts until I was almost 6 years old, sitting up on a cold exam table in a doctor's office, awaiting the news of my diagnosis. When the doctor entered and delivered the news, and I heard the words no and can't, I knew life would never be the same. I also knew that if I didn't take things in my own hands and strive to change things, I'd never amount to anything. Walt Disney once claimed, if you can dream it, you can do it. The way you get started is to quit talking and begin doing. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. We keep moving forward, opening new doors. And doing new things. Because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. There is a great deal of optimism in everything we do. Whether success or failure depends on the individual, but it rarely comes without its own rewards. All we need is the ability to dream, the strength to hope, the will to place enough faith in ourselves to reach beyond possibilities, and have enough courage to accomplish those dreams, to see them become realities. Never give up, for it's fun to do the impossible. So I keep moving forward and I never look back. Although I didn't struggle with the most typical symptoms of PWS, I still faced plenty of challenges. Low muscle tone, delays in learning to walk, scoliosis, and poor eyesight affected my ability to join my peers in sports-related activities, often leaving me on the sidelines watching rather than participating. Obtaining an education would likely be a nightmare, if not impossible, due to various cognitive impairments like excessive daytime sleepiness, poor organization skills, and the inability to remain focused in order to stay on task. Health issues such as diabetes, struggling with satiety issues, obesity, and an inability to do tasks that typical adults do, like finding and maintaining employment. It would be questionable if I'd ever be able to live independently or have a somewhat normal lifestyle. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe once claimed that all four strives forward, to work far and wide, to live and grow, and never to expand. Yet we are chatting forward on each side by the world's flu, and swept against split sand. In this internal storm and onward tide, we hear a promise, hard to understand, from the compulsion that all creatures abides. Who overcomes himself as freedom finds. I knew that if I was going to overcome the challenges I faced, and the ones I continue to face, I had to maintain a positive attitude, have faith in what I could potentially do, as long as I believed in myself. To which Helen Keller claimed, "Be of good cheer. Do not think of today's failures, but of the success that may come tomorrow. You will set yourselves a different task, but you will succeed if you persevere, and you will find joy in overcoming obstacles. Remember, no effort that we make to attain something beautiful is ever lost." Support programs like Easter Seals helped me develop the ability to walk. Throughout my school years, various resource rooms and IEPs helped me receive an education and helped me to excel. One of my proudest accomplishments was graduating high school near the top of my class, academically, out of 901 students. Shortly thereafter, despite growing up in a small farm town in New Hampshire, with little to no support, I found and gained the help with my dietary issues through Latham Centers, a well-known education organization in Massachusetts, specializing in providing care to children and adults with PWS, through which I had the pleasure of starting an animal therapy program, working with miniature donkeys that still thrive and highly enjoy it after 15 years to help with many of the behavioral issues associated with PWS. I also found a career exploratory program at a local community college that helped me gain interest in various employment opportunities and helped me transition into mainstream classes, which led me to being inducted into an academic honor society. I'm now living independently with support from a care provider who supplies my meals and overlooks my medical needs, like diet and doctor's appointments as needed, and a visiting nurse who meets with me twice a month to make sure I'm keeping up with my meds and keeping a close eye on my vitals. I began advocating for myself and others with disabilities, which has led to me not only being appointed to the PWS National Adult Advisory Board, but also led to me becoming one of the first representatives of PWSA to receive membership into the Every Life Foundation, which strives to make the lives of those living with rare diseases more meaningful, fulfilling, and productive, through advocating for their rights and to get the services and support they deserve. Eleanor Roosevelt once claimed, "Do the things that interest you and do them with all your heart. Don't be concerned about whether people are watching or criticizing you. The chances are that they aren't paying any attention to you. It's your attention to yourself that is so self-defined. But you have to disregard yourself as completely as possible. If you fail the first time, then you'll just have to try harder the second time. After all, there's no real reason why you should fail to stop thinking about yourself." Another thing that makes a good advocate is doing things just beyond your comfort zone. I experienced this head-on 2 years ago when I joined a special needs hockey team. They worked with children and adults with disabilities of all ages, giving them a chance to play hockey and participate in competitive sports when other programs won't. It's been and continues to be a unique opportunity, as prior to joining the team, I couldn't skate, let alone stand up on them. But the coaches were all experienced hockey players, either professionally, semi-professionally, collegiate, or local coaches who volunteered. Some with no skating experience as well. They gradually worked with me and guaranteed I'd be skating on my own in 2 months. I'm proud to say it was just over a month. Through hockey, I not only advocated for myself, but for others with PWS through Latham, upon being denied from Latham the opportunity due to physical limitations and safety concerns. So, in closing, if you ever find yourself doubting if you can do something, don't. Just try it and do it. We may be different, but we choose to be unique, as we did not have control over who we are, but we were created special in every way as individuals. So I'd like to leave you with some encouragement. So think big, aim high, search far, and focus on what lies ahead. Always viewing life on the positive side, because we never know what wonders are awaiting us. Thank you.
Questions for James, please?
I'm able to not only advocate for myself, but for others. As I mentioned, I got worked with Latham with a local nurse that works for the company, and bringing in miniature donkeys to help with the students at the school, and which I also worked as an aide, and helping them learn how to take care of the donkeys and care for them, continue to care for them. And I'm also really proud of the fact that I have the ability and opportunity to go down to DC. I've made 3 trips down to DC in the last 2 years. And advocating for myself and others with rare diseases and multiple disabilities. And it's been a really good experience, and I'm really looking forward to more.
Any more questions?
What area do you feel needs the most advocating for?
I'd say in general, the basic needs and certain disabilities like PWS have many symptoms, and it's hard to deal with them on a daily basis. And I know from my experience, it's been difficult, even though I didn't face a lot of the symptoms with PWS, but others do, and it affects people differently. And but one of the biggest things is, if you have an idea of trying something, to just let them do it and see how it goes. And if it doesn't go, don't worry about it. But if it does go well, just keep doing it. Even if you're curious or hesitant about their needs and making sure that they're safe, to make sure that you keep pushing them to do what they want to do and do it well. And even if you fail, to keep trying. So that's what I've done, and that's what I like to express to others too.
Thank you. I think your presentation is amazing.
Thanks, James. That was fantastic. Can I just ask why you started self-advocacy for yourself, and then what brought you into advocating for others?
I got started advocating for myself in high school. Freshman year was a challenge with trying to fit in and get my bearings and find solutions of how I could learn and adapt to my peers, who I constantly saw doing better and getting better academically and better at me with sporting events and gym class, and I wanted to get more involved and found groups, a bunch of I found a resource room that worked with me and a bunch of others with disabilities, which I stayed friends with for several years. Some of them I still have, and I'm happy to say that through the opportunity of helping to manage sports teams and with gym class and with Special Olympics, I've had the chance of leading quite a few of my friends to major professional sports careers. And I have just continued to do that and pursue advocacy for myself. Because it got me thinking, it's like, okay, I can do this, and I can get into it, and I can help others do the same thing. And so that's what has been my driving force ever since.
Questions all done. Could I just ask Brooke to come back up, please, for a second?
A couple of things, I'm going to follow that. Just huge heartfelt thanks from me for your input today. As I said earlier on, this hasn't only been the highlight of my day, this has been the highlight of the week for me. I fully believe that you guys should be teaching us, you guys should be telling us what to do, you guys should be up here, and me and Georgina should be sitting down there, and Georgina is already. So could I just ask you again, just to give a huge round of applause.